If you're a small business owner, especially in the service-based business, I'm guessing that, hey, you got a great product, you offer great customer service, you're doing everything right. The one thing that you're struggling with is getting your messaging dialed in so that you can attract exactly the right kind of customers and clients into your business. And so today I want to show you an AI power prompt that I'm using to help get to the core of the exact verbiage, the exact language that my ideal prospects are using when they're looking for the type of service that I provide. And to be perfectly honest, and to give credit where credit is due, I did not come up with this prompt. It actually got posted online by a guy named Wes McDowell. He's got a great YouTube channel, lots of really valuable information there for service-based businesses and the marketing that they do. So make sure that you check him out after you get done watching this video. So there are three primary questions that we need to answer when we're trying to dial in our marketing message and our sales message. And the first one is, what is the biggest pain or problem that our prospects have? And hopefully, if you've been running your business for any length of time, you kind of know what that is. But oftentimes what I see as lacking and what my clients are missing is the specific language that prospect is using. A lot of times we end up using terms, technical terms, other jargon that doesn't really resonate, that doesn't speak to the core of what that problem is in the prospect's mind, okay? And so that's the first thing we need to solve for. The second thing we need to know is, what have they tried before? In almost every market now has been completely saturated, especially the coaching, consulting, and other service-based sort of businesses that are out there. This is not a new market. So they've tried other things before. And in order to create the kind of differentiation that we want to have with our prospects, we need to know what they've tried and what hasn't worked so we can address that in our marketing. And then last but not least, we want to know what their dream outcome is. Like, what does a perfect outcome for them look like? So what we're going to do is use a free tool called perplexity.ai in order to get to the core of those three questions. And I went ahead and just created a little Notion doc for you here. It's free to download. I'll leave a link in the description. No email or anything. You don't got to give any of that up. I just want to show you what this is. So we have here the original template. And then I have an example from my own business, the one that I ran, to show you kind of how it works. And so I'll just read to you the template version, and then we'll take my version and go plug it into Perplexity. So I wrote the prompt. I said, I want you to scour real review sites to find the exact words that my type of client are using when talking about their struggles with the problem I solve for. Research only real review sites and look for common patterns or repeat ideas that come up over and over again. Give me at least 5 messaging points for each of the following categories. And then I just list out the 3 things that we just talked about, the 3 questions that we want to answer. And so for me, since I help coaches and consultants, I said, I want you to scour real review sites to find the exact words online coaches are using when talking about the struggles with growing their business. Very simple, very generic. You can be more specific if you want to, but this is just to show you what you can get. And then all the rest of the stuff is the same. So I'm just going to copy this and come over to Perplexity. Now, the first thing we need to make sure of is that we are using Perplexity Pro. Now, I don't have a paid membership to Perplexity, but they do give you a certain number of searches in a given time period using their Pro model. And so that's what we're going to use here today. And I'm just going to paste that into Perplexity and hit go. And what it's going to do is it's going to first come up with an idea of how it wants to approach going about this, and then it's going to start searching these sites. And it's got 29 sites, 46 sites. It's going to come up, I think, probably somewhere around 70. Yeah. And then look at what it comes up with. Problem or pain point. I'm struggling to find the right clients. Obviously, that's the number one problem I see with every single business that I work with, is that they don't have fulfillment problems. They really are just trying to grow the business. They just need more people to be aware of them. The market's so saturated, I don't know how to stand out. It's another huge problem in our industry, isn't it? Everybody's creating content these days, and you have to be doing something different, and you have to be measuring different things if you want to have success. I have no clear marketing or promotional strategy. Well, that's pretty straightforward. I feel like I'm working all the time, but making no progress. I mean, if you're in the service-based industry, if you're a coach or a consultant, this is hitting home. This should be like, yeah, that's exactly. But you see how it's in their words coming from real people and what they're saying about the problems they're having? What did they try that not worked? I've tried every sales formula and script, but nothing feels authentic to get results. Now think about what we can do with that. We can come in and in our marketing message, we can say something like, let me guess, you've tried every formula and script, nothing feels authentic, and nothing is driving the kind of results that you want. Well, in this video, here's what we do, or here's how we solve for that problem. See how we can now begin to modify our marketing message and our sales message in order to address, in their own words, what their problems are? Spent too much money on fancy websites and funnels that didn't bring in any clients. I followed the done it for you system that promised easy revenue, right? We've all done that. All right, then what's their dream outcome? I want a steady stream of ideal clients who value my expertise. Yeah, I would even go so far as to say high ticket or high value clients, not just ideal. I want to scale my income without working more hours. Good grief, don't we all? I want to make a real impact and be recognized as the expert in my niche. Boom. So now, what can we do with this? Now, it comes down and gives you a whole bunch more information, and it sources everything for you. So if you want to go dig in a little deeper and read more, you can. But now when we start creating our content, now when we start putting this stuff together, we can now use this in order to help produce better results for the marketing and the time we're spending investing in creating content. One of the things that I do with this information is I'll go one step further and I'll actually take some of this. Let's just say biggest pain or problem, right? And I'll come into ChatGPT that knows a little bit about my business, and I'll say something like, I'm going to give you a list of pains and problems real coaches are saying about growing their business. Okay? Pretty straightforward. And this is a great thing about ChatGPT is you can use regular languaging now. Okay? I want you to come up with 12 titles for YouTube videos that I can use to address these problems. Right? And then we're just going to paste those in. Boop. And let's see what they come up with. Now, I haven't tried this before, but let's just see what happens. Struggling to get coaching clients. Here's what actually works in 2025. The real reason you're not attracting the right clients and how to fix it. So we can use this now to help craft all of the content that we're producing. And we can even go so far as to use this stuff on our sales page. So if you go to leveragecoach.com, shameless plug, you're going to see, look at what I do. Does this sound like you? I'm struggling to attract the right prospects and clients. I'm overwhelmed by the marketing, admin, and tech stack. I feel stuck charging too much and struggling to grow. I'm spending hours creating content. Like, these are all things not from my perspective, but from the client's perspective, what they are saying. And then I address, hey, what if we could fix all of that for you? Testimonial. And then I explain the process that we use at Leverage Coach in order to get the kind of results that people are looking for. But I'm using their languaging. Right? This is a game changer, especially if you're new. Once you have this list and you kind of have a better idea of how to start crafting a better marketing message and a better sales message, you should go and watch this video right here, because I actually break down my entire offer formula for you so that you can create a better offer utilizing what you just learned. So go check it out, and don't forget to leave me a comment in the description and let me know how it worked out for you.